What's going on, guys? It's Luke22SV here, and welcome back to the career mode of Season 3 today. Here for the Mexican Grand Prix, with just 4 rounds left to go in this title fight and this season. We've got a 4-way fight for the title going between the 2 McLaren drivers and the 2 Red Bull drivers. And it's getting really close now. So Butler was the winner last time out in Japan. We had a fairly mediocre result. Verstappen had a disappointing day starting from pole, and Norris is, well, it's critical for Norris now. He needs to win today if he wants to still be in the title fight heading into USA and then Japan, Brazil and Abu Dhabi. So we head into qualifying here at Mexico, a track where we've done alright in the past before. So this is one of the tracks where we should hope to get a good result today. But of course, it's really close. We're not really that good, perhaps, with the wheel at the moment. So we're actually racing on perhaps a difficulty a little bit too high for us in certain cases. But we're on our best lap at the moment at this stage. So this is going to be the best lap that you see. I'm going to change things up a little bit, perhaps for the F1 2020. I'm going to do the My Team career, which I should be able to start recording from tonight, actually, Tuesday morning of July the 7th. I should get the game available at 1 AM. So I will be definitely doing a bit of recording for that. Not sure when I'll be able to get the first episode up though, as I've got a little bit of a busy day tomorrow. But I should be able to get them up for Wednesday. That's the target, to get my first 2020 F1 game career mode video up, and then hopefully we can finish the 2019 season fairly soon, because I know the attention of viewers is going to turn towards the 2020 game for sure. I'm not sure people will be wanting to see the 2019 game in action anymore when the 2020 one is available. But anyway, we crossed the line to take a provisional pole position, which is all well and good at this time come the end of the session. We weren't able to improve, and we were a long way off our teammate Verstappen on pole. So, you know, if the difficulty was correct, we'd probably be up there with Verstappen. But we're just probably just trying to do ourselves justice with the difficulty as it is at the moment. But I think on the F1 2020 game, I'll have to turn down the difficulty to at least to start off with. But I'm still developing with the wheels, so hopefully I can be back on Ultimate AI again like I was on F1 2018 using the controller, but no assist and everything as well. It's all a new sort of thing for me, so eventually I'll be back on high difficulty. I mean, I think I'm on 95 at the moment, which isn't terrible, but obviously there's a lot better. But nonetheless, let's get onto the grid then for the Mexican Grand Prix. And of course, Lando Norris done everything he needs to do. He gets into pole position, and it's Carlos Sainz alongside of him. So Verstappen was up there in pole position not so long ago, so he's got a penalty now. Stroll third, Bottas fourth, and ourselves in fifth. So we've climbed up a bit there. Fiat sixth, Butler having a penalty too. So Perez eighth, Gasly ninth, and Verstappen 10th, with Vettel, Ricciardo, Giovinazzi and Russell. So the top two, well, our main competitors having penalties with Magnussen there, and then Albon, Leclerc, Hamilton and Hulkenberg rounding off the grid. So yeah, we got Butler behind us and Verstappen behind us as well, but we haven't been so good at the starts as you have seen. We need to nail our starts properly on the next F1 game too, but we're going to get the start underway here as the lights go out and we're away in Mexico with just 4 races left in this season. Who's going to take the initiative? It's Butler there. We've had a terrible start on the grid, and we pull off to the right to stop Verstappen coming through, and we're going to try and dive bomb into turn 1, see if we can get past any of these guys. Butler having a hell of a start there, and make a bit of contact though, and yeah, nonetheless we carry on anyway. There's a collision with Fiat, yellow flags though behind us, so something has happened there. There's a safety car has been deployed, and Stroll has dropped back, so I don't know what's happened with Stroll there. But maybe an illegal overtake, but Stroll goes down to 5th, but Butler had a hell of a start. He was right behind us, and he's now up to 3rd by the looks of it there on the screen. So well done from Butler, but that's not really helped us a lot, because Butler at the moment is our main competitor in this title fight. Verstappen falling back a little bit, but Lando Norris then has got it all to do. Here's the replay then of the start. Lando Norris is 76 points behind. He can't afford to drop any more points to us, otherwise going into USA with 75 points available. Well, 78 I guess, but yeah, it's looking very unlikely for him. But here's the incident now. There's 4 abreast almost of the exit of turn 1, and it was Kvyat who was unfortunately turned around. There, as you can see, here's the onboard of George Russell, Danny Kvyat rather. They got similar helmets to that Williams, but yeah, there's a Racing Point, there's a Toro Rosso, there's a Red Bull, and there's Williams, and it's the Williams that comes off worse, and there's a traffic jam behind him, and that's why the safety car was deployed. Here's the onboard with Gasly, he's on the outside, and yeah, rather unfortunate there. He gets tagged by the Racing Point. It's almost, yeah, it's a huge, really unfortunate incident to happen there, but nonetheless, we carry on onto lap 3. No pit stops have been made by us. I don't think any have been made down at the back there. Everyone carrying on with the race, and Carlos Sainz is now taking the lead of this race from Norris. So Norris has got to do everything he can to get that back, and Butler as well. He's got a championship to fight for here as well, so he won't be taking any prisoners. But we can start this race again as Lance Stroll is ahead of us. We're going to try and get past him immediately. If we can mount attack on the top guys, we got to get away here again to start on lap 4. Finally, now we can go back to racing. Can we get past Lance Stroll into turn 1? We've been a little bit cautious since we moved onto the wheel, but can we get past him here? We should be able to get past him. Gotten very close to him on the exit there, but he defends. We don't think about making the move for the time being, but taking a fairly poor line through the chicane, and now we have to settle in and just try and bide our time. Hopefully get past him soon, because we don't want Butler gaining too many points on us. He's actually closed in recently, especially with his good result in Japan, but we're hoping for a better result here. As Bottas as well, he's ahead of us. So it's Carlos Sainz leading the race in a Renault. We normally see the Renaults line up on the back row of the grid as time's gone through this career mode, but now they've improved a little bit too little too late, of course. But we're closing in on Stroll here through the middle part of this lap. We're quite good in the middle sector, it seems, compared to the AI. But we're closing in on Stroll, and there's a bit of a gap behind us actually. So Ricciardo is almost 2 seconds behind us, but Verstappen now has got past him. So I think Ricciardo may have had some front wing damage on the opening lap. Don't know why they don't pit either, though. It would have been a free pit stop. I mean, there's 17 laps to go in this race. I mean, there is a perfect chance of gaining some more points that way. I mean, it's probably a little bit more difficult with the longer laps here, and the tyres are more likely to go off. I mean, I would hope for the F1 2020 game to be able to choose your amount of laps, because with the My Team career, I'll only be able to record 25% races, because I think 50% would be too difficult for me to edit on the Upload Studio as it is. But yeah, I would like to choose a little bit longer, perhaps like 30 or 35% races for some tracks, because you get 11 laps around Spa. Which is easy to, you could have the safety car and pit on the first lap and pretty much win the race whilst being a backmarker car. But as you can see on screen there, Sergio Perez is out of the race. He was one of the drivers involved in the turn 1 crash, which ended up with Kvyat spinning, and the safety car has come out for a second time, and this time we're going to be pitting for medium compound tyres, putting on those yellow striped tyres and going out again. But I would imagine, well, since the pit window's pretty close anyway, a lot of other cars will be doing the same. So we're going to be going into pits. Maybe we will get lucky and a few cars will carry on, or maybe every car will carry on and get even more lucky. And but I'm expecting a few cars to keep coming into the pits at the end of this lap and putting on some medium or hard tyres, which some might only have available to them. We come into the pit, Stroll carries on, and it looks like Butler's carried on too, so that could be a poor decision. Actually, it looks like it might have been Norris that carried on actually there. We come into the pits now, and we put on medium tyres, and we're out again. It wasn't Butler that carried on, because Butler's just ahead of us, and so is Norris as well. So yeah, Butler looks like he's got it right here. I think that might have actually been Bottas that carried on. So Bottas has carried on, as has Stroll. Sainz has pitted, so Sainz still has the net lead, but we're in P11 at this moment, so there's still about 6 or 7 cars that haven't pitted at this stage. So I don't know if they've got it right, if we got it right. I think we've probably got it right. They probably should have picked the time to come into the pits. We get a rather bit of lackadaisical driving there. We've ended up picking up a warning under the safety car, but we move on to lap 7 now. It's the end of lap 7. With safety cars coming in again, we can go back to racing again, and we're behind Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz as well. He's ahead of us. So now we've got it all to do in this race. Whether we can get past these guys immediately, that is the question. So Lando Norris is hoping to get past Sainz. This is probably for a net lead here. So maybe Butler did carry on. Actually, I'm not actually too sure because he should be ahead of us, but I think Butler carried on. So we carry on with this race. Then that's probably a poor decision on McLaren's behalf, but he would have had a double stack, but he would have lost less time double stacking than he would waiting to pit a few laps later. But we carry on anyway. Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz are ahead of us. We're currently in a net third place. Magnussen's behind us, so Magnussen's doing well there in a Haas. I don't know where he's come from on the grid, but his teammate was at the back of the grid. But we have got a good chance of getting a good result here. We can get on the podium for sure. If we can get past Lando Norris, that would end his championship hopes. And he's going to be doing his bit to get past everyone. So actually, no, Butler was behind us. But it's my mistake. I've got it all wrong today. It was Butler, who of course had the double stack in the end, is behind us. So Butler had pitted, but he's behind us now. So we've actually got a jump on Butler there. But at the moment, you can see the cars that haven't pitted are now starting to hold us up a little bit. So we're on the fresh medium tyres. Our drivers in front are on the old soft tyres. It's Danny Kvyat, who's probably got a bit of front wing damage as well. He's going to be holding up the top four here, all really close to each other. We've got Butler now behind us. We've got ourselves behind Norris. We're in a McLaren sandwich, and Carlos Sainz is, well, it would be ideal for Carlos Sainz if he can get past these cars quickly and start to build a gap to Norris. But Norris is going to want to follow through as well. So if Carlos Sainz can get through these cars, he could be in a good position here, but we're going to have to go defensive from Butler instead of being able to attack, because Butler's now got a good exit out of the last corner. We've struggled to get a good exit out of the last corner all weekend. Butler looks down the inside, but we're not going to allow him through there, and we're going to try and keep hold of that position. We don't want to lose position to Butler, who's right behind, well, not right behind us, but he is second behind us in the championship, and he could, any overtake could pay dividends come Abu Dhabi or Brazil, where the championship could or could not be decided by one of us as well. So we're almost thinking about a move on the inside of Lando Norris there, but thinking a little bit better of it at this time. We don't want to lose front wing. We know what the AI are like on here in terms of turning in on drivers, particularly ourselves. We've been turned in on a few times in this career mode, it has to be said, but we're looking to get past Lando Norris here. We're very good in sector 2. We're sticking with him, but it's just the exit of the last corner where we seem to be struggling the most at the moment. But you can see Sainz is trying to get past Danny Kvyat here. They're going side by side through the last sector here, through the stadium section. Can we get past them on the straight? It looks like there's a good chance of an overtake here if we can get a good exit. Of course, we struggled with exits out of that last corner for whatever reason, but we've got DRS available now. We're not on this straight though. It might not even be on the next straight. I think there's only one detection point here. Lando Norris now going for the overtake on Danny Kvyat. We have got Butler right behind us. Is he going to be able to make a move on us? It doesn't look like it. And looks like Norris has got past Danny Kvyat. There's a few cars, there's a massive train of cars ahead of us, and there's a good chance we can get past Kvyat here. And we get a much better exit than him, but we end up getting a little bit slower there. So it doesn't look like we're going to get past Kvyat here, but we do dive down the inside actually. But he is on the inside, and we don't want to lose any front wing, so we're being a little bit cautious. But he gets a slow exit out of here, and we're on the outside of him, and we're managing to get past him on the outside, and a good move in the end. So it didn't look like the move was on there, but the Kvyat was going very slowly, and we just had to get past him because we're going to lose too much time to the guys ahead of us of Norris and Sainz, who are now we're back behind again. So yeah, Kvyat seems to have lost it all there. So I don't know what's happened to Kvyat there, but he's holding up Butler, which is really decent for us. So it looks like Giovinazzi, Carlos Sainz's teammates, now heading this queue. So of course it seems to be cars not wanting to double stack, but everyone's now coming into the pits. Hulkenberg and everyone else as well in front of them. It looked like a Ferrari was there coming into the pits as well. They're all going to be well down the order now, but this is for the lead here just in front of us. Lando Norris is now leading this race. If he can get past Carlos Sainz before turn 1, can he make the move done? It looks like it has been done, and Lando Norris now doing everything he needs to do to win this race. Lucas Weber's now overtaken Devon Butler, and they seem to be fighting for 4th. So Butler's going backwards at the moment, as it seems, after being held up by Danny Kvyat. We got DRS here. Can we get close enough to perhaps make a move on one of these two? And now we're thinking about perhaps a race win here. We can get past Carlos Sainz, who seemed to have not got the pace now required to win this race. Of course, Lando Norris did have pole position in the end, but Carlos Sainz took the lead fairly early on. But Norris has finally got it back. So Norris looking in form this weekend, which he needs to be if he wants to win this championship still. I mean, it's still very unlikely that he has still is going to be able to win this championship, even if he does manage to win this race. But we're looking to get past Carlos Sainz now. He's going defensive as we go through that corner, but not a chance to make a move there at this point. And surely we should be able to get the move done on the start-finish straight. We've now got Lucas Weber closing in on us as well, so we've got to be careful here. We don't want to be held up by Carlos Sainz if we're going to end up becoming vulnerable to cars behind. So we've got a good chance of getting past Sainz here. He's not close enough to Norris to really to get a good tow. He hasn't got DRS available either, so this is going to be a fairly easy move on Carlos Sainz, and we go up to P2, and now our next target is Lando Norris for P1. And yeah, it was a decent move there in the end. And now our next target is Lando Norris. Is he going to be able to keep the lead of this race? He's going to be doing everything he can within his powers to keep the lead of this race. And we're going to try and stop him. So we go purple sector 1. We've got purple sector 1. There's a good chance of getting a fast lap of the race here if we can keep the rest of the lap going well as well. And we've got a good chance of getting past Norris if we can keep within a second of him. And that DRS is really going to help us there as well. We're going to pull out a gap to Carlos Sainz, it seems. And now we won't have to worry about what's behind us. We can only worry about what's ahead of us, and that's going to be the perfect chance here. We got a good chance of getting past Lando Norris and extended our championship lead. We set a green sector 2, so it's not purple, but it's still a personal best. So if we can get a good last sector, we could set a fast lap of the race here. Although that was a poor entry into that corner, we just ran a little bit too deep. But we should be able to get a little bit DRS here, get a good exit out of the last corner. I mean, it's okay. We should still be within a second, and yes, we are. It's a personal best lap. It's not the session best though, but we do have DRS again available, and there's a good chance of still getting another fast lap of the race and getting an extra point. But we're closing in on Lando Norris, but just a little bit too far back this time. But now we should be very close on the exit of this chicane if we can get past him, and we could get past Lando Norris here, but awful exit there. We move on to the next lap though, and see if we can get past him again though. Got DRS available. We're closing in on Lando Norris, but it just looks like we're a little bit too far away, and we get DRS here. But can we get past him into the next corner? It's a left-hander. It's not the easiest place to overtake, but we're closing in and closing in again. But we're just running out of road there, to be honest, to get past him. Still, we got 4 laps left to go after this one, and that means 4 opportunities on the main straight and the straight back there as well. So we've still got a good chance of winning this race, and Lucas Weber's up into 3rd at the moment. So Butler seems to be going backwards. I don't really know what's going on with Butler, but he had a good chance at the start of this race to be able to win this race, where in the position he was if he was only running in 3rd. But look how close we are to Norris here. Can we get a move on the outside? No. He keeps the position for the time being. We're going to be having to look to the outside then, but surely it's going to be done and dusted on the start-finish straight. Again, that seems to be a problem corner for us in this race. You can see the time gained by Norris there. We were right behind him, but now he's started to pull away a little bit in that last few corners. But we should have DRS to pull us back into this, and surely it's going to be a move for the lead of this race here. Can we get past him by the end of the straight? It's going to be fairly easy. Again, I mean, look at the engine power we had there, the hot lap mode and DRS, and it's an easy move before the end of the corner, the end of the straight there. We take the lead of this race then, and Verstappen is up to 3rd. So we move on to lap 16 now, and well, we're still in the lead, but Norris is coming back at us now, and there's a chance Norris could retake the lead. He really is determined to keep the lead here. He doesn't want to be losing this championship fight just yet. He wants us to be in it going into USA, and we're just about to keep hold of the lead, but he's on the inside there. We just get a better exit out of the corner, but a little bit out of shape. But this is all the time is going to be allowing Verstappen to close in. Out of nowhere, Verstappen is closing in now, so it could be a chance of a Red Bull 1-2 here if we can keep ahead of Norris, of course. But Norris will be having DRS, but we won't have DRS at this point, so we're going to be vulnerable on the start-finish straight if we cannot pull out a second gap here to Lando Norris, which we're going to be trying to do. We need some good sectors here. Verstappen has climbed through the pack as well after his penalty, so this would be a good result for Verstappen getting onto the podium. But whether we can get second or maybe even a win in this race, we don't want that, because Verstappen, if we can gap some more points to Verstappen, we exceed track limits. We do that one more time, we'll end up getting a 3-second penalty, which will give us no chance of winning this race. But we come round to start, just 2 more laps to go in this race then. We've got Lando Norris right behind us. We haven't been able to pull out a gap, and he's right behind us. Surely he's going to get past us here. And Verstappen as well, he's right behind us. We're going to be vulnerable. We could end up being third place. Go into the first corner here. Verstappen goes to the outside. Norris on the inside. Verstappen gets past the pair of us on the straight. Is he going to be leading the race into turn 1? Norris on the inside. We're on the outside now, but Verstappen takes the lead of the race. What a move from Verstappen, and what an important move for him in the championship as well. But we keep hold of P2, and that is going to be game over for Lando Norris in the championship fight, unless he can get back past both the Red Bulls on the last lap. But look at the gap Verstappen's got just already. He had DRS on the exit of turn 1 and turn 2, and it looks like it's game over for us now, unless we can keep within a second. But Verstappen just has so much more pace. He had so much more pace than us in qualifying, and it looks like it's game over. Verstappen flying in this race, indeed, perhaps a much deserved win by the looks of how quick he is. I mean, we showed glimpses of pace much more in the race than we did in qualifying, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to prevail at this point. We're still within a second, but he's still getting away, and we get a decent entry into that corner, still running a little bit off. But unfortunately for us, it looks like Verstappen is going to be able to win this race with just one more lap to go now. And yeah, he sets the fastest lap of the race as well in doing so. And that's going to cost us a little bit as well. That's an extra point that he's going to be gaining on us. But we still have DRS, but we're just too far back already. So Verstappen has done everything right here. He's done. We should have been focusing on defending from Verstappen perhaps more than Norris. So it's a mistake from us as well. We probably should have used Norris perhaps and maybe defended the inside line. But Verstappen has managed to sneak past us here out of nowhere pretty much. It was just a fight between myself and Norris for a few laps, and now Verstappen came and took both places from us, and Verstappen is going to win this race unless he has a cock up in the last few corners of this lap. But unfortunately for us, we're going to lose points, 8 points to Verstappen. We're gaining over both the McLaren still, so Butler having a disappointing day in the end. I mean, he looked good in the first half of the race, but for whatever reason he's gone backwards in the second half of the race. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but we'll have to see what the race order looks like as we all cross the line. But it's looking like it's too late. There's nothing we can do. Verstappen's going to win this race. We're going to have to settle for P2 today. We've got 3 races left after this one. USA is a difficult one, so is Abu Dhabi. I mean, I think we won in Abu Dhabi last season, but we crossed the line. It's a good result from where we started, I guess, from P5, but it could have been better for us at the end of the day. Verstappen showing us up a little bit in the end, and yeah, there you go. Christian Horner will be happy with a Red Bull 1-2, another Red Bull 1-2. You know, Verstappen, we've made some late moves on him to take the lead of the race in Austria and the British Grand Prix, but today it was him making a late move on us to win the Mexican Grand Prix. Norris loses out then. Is a 3-horse race then with 3 races to go. Will it be a 2-horse race with 2 races to go as we head into Brazil after that? We'll have to wait and see. And there you go. And Butler finished down in 9th, so he had an awful second half of the race. Albon had a good race, finishing 7th. Sainz might be happy with 5th, but Renault will be not too shabby. But 16 points then, the gap to Verstappen with 3 races to go. Is fairly dangerous. Butler is 35 points behind, so Butler he might even be out of it if he's not careful. He needs a good result in USA, so yeah, all to play for then with the last 3 races to go. Norris unfortunately losing out, and Sainz going up to P11 in the championship as well. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the episode there, guys. I hope you enjoyed it today, and we should see USA uploaded fairly soon as well, but I'm just going to try and focus on F1 2020. But yeah, there you go. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for the next one.